A literature review identifies and describes schools of thought, main perspectives, or significant theories that tend to show up in the scholarly articles and books that already exist on the topic. It also identifies any gaps or holes in what is already known. If you're doing this as part of a research proposal, what you will go on to do is to explain your plan to fill in one of those gaps, or perhaps to confirm a tentative conclusion that someone else has already drawn. Most peer-reviewed articles will include some kind of literature review. Sometimes there will be a section with the title Literature Review or Review of the Literature. One visual clue that it's a lit review is that there will be a few sentences followed by a parenthetical citation that refers to multiple studies. You may see phrases such as, "These people hypothesized something," or "risk factors identified by these studies include," or "protective factors that surfaced in the various research." In many articles, the introduction section is a bit of a literature review itself, as it sets the context for the research presented in the rest of the article. This example is from the intro section of an article, but you can see many literature review characteristics. We have a claim backed up with citations to 6 different articles. The literature is directly mentioned. We see it is argued with multiple citations. And a perspective is mentioned, along with what it brought to the general attention of those working in the subject area. You'll do your database research, much as you've always done, but there will be some subtle differences in how you organize your literature review and how you structured a typical research paper. You can choose to organize your literature review chronologically, starting with the oldest sources and working forward to the present day to see how things have evolved over time. Methodologically, looking at how researchers have gone about studying the issue and putting similar methods together. Or thematically, where you'll look for patterns and themes in your sources and address any disagreements between them that you may find. Here's one example of a thematically organized literature review. Go ahead and pause the video if you'd like to look at it a little bit longer. You can also look at the literature review sections of the articles that you find for examples. Some people like to use a grid or a chart to help them to identify similarities and differences in the literature that they find. A grid like this can easily be made in Google Drive or in Microsoft Excel. You may like using a tool like this to help you identify the main features of your sources and organize them to help write your literature review.